Hello, welcome. Now I'm worried that you can't hear me because I remember my sound last week afterwards. So, welcome to Real Magic Review. My name is Steve Faulkner, and today I'm just going to have a bit of a waffle. Have a look at Card Magic. What was it? Have a look at cardmagiccourse.com. That's what you got to do. Like and subscribe, of course. Do that. But have a look at cardmagiccourse.com. I've recorded. I'm going back to basics, which is, I suppose, a little bit what we're... Thanks, Gary. A little bit what we're going to be talking about. Because I've recorded a video on Out of This World, which I haven't performed for ages. And you do, even though we all know it's brilliant, we do kind of how good it is. The proper basic version. And as well as, what's it called? Be Honest, What Is It? I always forget the name of it, by Eddie Fector. Which is, again, just a classic. It's going back to those super basic, not... it's got a double and a top change in it, but just those basic concepts and getting responses that are kind of better than the stuff that is way more complex that took you a lot longer to learn. But that's all good. And we're going to do a live session on Be Honest, What Is It? On the Card Magic course tonight. So go and join. You can join in the live sessions. That's what you can do. So before we start, I'm going to do a little, because I realised that these got released this week. These Providence playing cards by the 1914. So I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show them to you. Because there's not a lot you can say, other than if you can look at them, you can sort of work it all out. So I could talk about the lovely gold embossing, but you're going to see that. So, but I will say what it says. So, I love the way they, not 1914, everybody describes playing cards. This is actually good. It's not as flowery as a lot of them. 1914 is, I'll put the thing on. 1914 is proud to present its flagship luxury Providence playing cards. Now, they are luxury. They do feel super, super lovely. Look, people like the unboxings, don't they? Little sideways thing there. Woo. There you go. And they are really, they're really joyous. And I've enjoyed playing with them. It's funny with playing cards, isn't it? Because you know they're either one of a number of stocks, but they do feel different. There's a psychological thing about them. The printing's different on this. I like ones that are actually different. They feel different. And they're not just the standard printing. So they've got this, I don't know, this kind of font. It's kind of minimal, almost kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know. But they've got these little pictures as well, which I really like. So there you go. That's what they look like. They are very beautiful. I like these little... the artwork is kind of really minimal, and there's loads of white space on there. I think they've been really nicely done. I'll tell you, whoops, put them there for a minute. There you go. Ooh, sexy. There's my, there's my really very, very. I took a long time writing that review. The sexy. They look nice, and they're all gold and lovely and all that. But that's from the 1914, and I do love all the stuff that the 1914 they haven't come out of anything rubbish yet. I think they're quite picky on what they kind of bring out. So yeah, have a look at them. Providence playing cards. They're a tenner a pack. And I'm going to read the rest of the thing because they say proud to present the flagship luxury Providence playing cards printed by Expert Playing Card Company. Importantly, Expert Playing Card Company and not the PCC. Expert Playing Card Company make lovely cards, and this is a premium stock. And I have played with different ones, and they are really, really nice. It oozes class and style with its tantalising metallic ink and gold foiling on each and every card. Absolutely. Designed by Destino, or Destino, but I presume it's Destino, but it might be Destino. And inspired by the secrets of the universe. There you go. You've got to get a bit of that in when you're talking about playing cards. These have been inspired by all of them, all of the secret verse. Providence represents mystery, the embodiment of both chaos and order, infinite sequences of 52 ancient, I love all this stuff, symbols that glide poetically between the hands and glisten in the light. What do you reckon? Are they gliding poetically, I suppose? Yeah, I suppose it is quite, it's quite glidey, isn't it? That's not a poetic glide, that's a really unpoetic, there's no poetry with that, but there you go. That's them. And thank you to the 1914 for sending them to me, because it's I'm very lucky, aren't I? So there you go. Right, we're going to talk about do Sib with them. Shall I try? Whenever I do any flourishes under pressure, I drop them. It's really weird. It's like the Rubik's Cube. I've only just managed to be able to do Oh, there you go. There's a little. You can never get it right. There you go. Then you've got the chin. Look at there. There you go. There's a symbol with them, and then one of them too for you, just to show you how clever I am. No, I don't want to do that. Yes, let's do some comments. Have some comments on here for me if you want. What you've been doing. Magic-wise, I've been doing lots of reading and really enjoying it. So have I, Gary. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying reading. And weirdly enough, because I'm reading books that are small, it's less daunting, isn't it? It's like you get someone like that out, and you start reading that, and that's, you're gonna literally just scratch the surface. But I like to read a book I feel like I can get through. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Go fish for you. And I've overly into thumbtip, lot you can do with that. So, yeah, hit the like button. Very good, Mr. C. Chris, thank you very much. So we're going to talk about the comments. There's not been loads because I only put one review out between this one and last time, but there's on the forums that I wanted to just talk about. So Inside Out, Ben Al is really, his books are really dividing people, which I do think makes it interesting. I do like that. It's like with films and things like that. I like films that really divide people, that some people love them and some people just like properly hate them, which I find a bit confusing, but I kind of get where some people are coming from. So go through the comments on Inside Out review. I did a couple last week, so I won't do Factory Magic by Stuart Greatsley. I did mention Factory Magic, that thing of kind of having to get around loads of tables and just kind of knowing that you've got to do your sort of free banking tricks, and you can't really do any of your subtle stuff. That kind of thing of just sort of getting around, which I'm really starting to not enjoy. So Charles Carter says about in speech marks, it's about getting rid of the noise, the faff, and over scripting. That's what I said, and then he said the irony about that, as the book, is just noise, faff, and over scripting. Crap book and crap sitting on the fence review. And you're all welcome to your opinion. I didn't think it was a sitting on the fence review, because sitting on the fence review means a review that that you're not sure about. And I really, really love the book. So I don't know quite what it meant, but it's not for everyone. And the good thing about YouTube is there's some other videos to watch as these. Morris, I hate The Shift, like wholeheartedly hated it, but I like this book. So I'm going to talk about The Shift in a minute. Well, let's talk about it now. So I have just read the first shift after reading Inside Out. I kind of went backwards, and I'd had a flip through before. And I've got no reason, but he knows that he's got enough fans to not have everybody love his stuff. He knows that, and I'm sure he doesn't mind that at all. That's cool. I really like this book. I don't really see the problem. Now, some people have said on the forums that it's mostly about what you get for your money. There's a little bit of a kind of, when you get a small book like this and it's got 3 and some essays or whatever, and you get through it pretty quickly, the value discussion is very interesting, isn't it? Because, it fascinates me. It fascinates me how someone could spend a load, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on a watch. Absolutely fascinates me. It fascinates me that someone could spend millions, on a diamond. I mean, it's insane to me, because that's only expensive because someone tells you it is, right? It's just perceived value. And, it's hard to get hold of, and if it's really rare, it's going to be more expensive, but you can't do anything with it. It's marketing is what it is. And it's like expensive alcohol as well, like really, really expensive wine. There's been loads of studies saying that people that know about wine in blind studies actually get it wrong when they're trying to guess the most expensive wine and things like that. So, we know this is a game that we're all playing. We know that it's so, and we enjoy it. And for me, I look at this, and this isn't an extra. You're not paying 500 quid. You're not paying 100 quid. You're paying like 60 quid. So it is a lot of money. And I'm not one of these people with loads of money that, it's like, well, I suppose I am in a way contextually with this, because I get stuff for free. I didn't actually. I bought this. But I do get stuff. I got the Shift Free review, which I haven't done yet, and I got Inside Out. So, but I think I'm quite good at knowing if I'd spent the money and I wasn't loaded, how would I feel about this? And I have taken stuff out and used it, more than one thing. I've really enjoyed playing with this spinner trick with the folded cards at the beginning. I'll just show you a picture. I'll be able to show you a picture without giving away any. There you go. I'll show you that. You know, this stuff. There's some just lovely ideas in it. Very simple in construction and not very simple to do. But I just think, and I felt that with everything really. There wasn't anything that offended me. The diagonal palm shift stuff. Now a lot of people have mentioned this, and I've heard it mentioned a lot before. This essay with the ball, the idea of practicing, you know, magic and putting a squash ball kind of here, so you're not overly using your hands. Now I'm used to doing this. When I learnt the Vernon's Conan ball routine, I was flashing and I could not do the thing without flashing. So I taped my fingers together for pretty much a day and did it and made sure I could, because I was opening my fingers and getting windows without realising it. So I just wanted to tape them together and it worked. So I took the tape off so I think I get that. And in theatre, you do these things where you put these restrictions on yourself and, you know, you can only say certain words. You can, with improv, and as an exercise, it's valuable. For some people, it's not going to be, and that's fine. And there is the essay on deception in there, which I really enjoyed. I was thinking, well, how useful is that for magicians? Some of it is. I thought it was a little bit dry and academic. I would have liked it to have been a little bit less academic, but again, in the book, I thought there was quite a lot in it. A new angle, which I've heard him talk about before in his downloads. I mean, you know, I've watched a fair bit of the download stuff, the basics stuff that he does. Is it called Beautiful Basics? I think. Really enjoyed that, going back to those first principles. But again, you can see why people don't like it. It's super detailed stuff. It's really niche. It's really going to, you know, holding the deck just at a bit more of an angle and the difference that can make and all this neo movement stuff. Not for everybody, but, you know, the lovely thing about these days, we do have a chance to kind of find out what things are like, purchase, you know, in the cafe and things like that. Not that you should listen to everybody's opinion, and not mine, of course, but if you listen to lots of different opinions, you should get an idea of kind of what you're getting. So yeah, I mean, I really like it, but I get it, and the rest of the comments were just. Dan says a lot of people hated this book. This is about Inside Out, but I really enjoyed it. Completely agree with your review. I connected with the stories, and having met Ben and seen him perform, he's so well spoken and graceful. It's magic. Reading some of the old tricks, but how the audience experienced them was amazing, and then just tweaking it. Yeah. The transposition in the mind is amazing. Yeah, I really like that. It makes total sense and is built in misdirection. I loved it. This transposition in the mind thing's really interesting. Like you just said, I just copied what you said. No, you said amazing actually, yeah. And it is. And I've done it like that, and it really works. It's a strange thing. So I liked it. So let's have a look at the. Hi, between Hotel 52 and Inferno, which one would you choose? I don't know. I get them all mixed up. I know Inferno's Joshua J. things like Inferno. Hotel 52, is that the one from the Regal? But there's so many, I get them all mixed up these days. But I'm getting old. But I do like Inferno, and I think that they're all those kind of equivoke tricks are pretty good. Like I said, I did a Josh Quinn one from his book where he just equivoke down to one. When you're doing it, you're just thinking, this ain't going to work, and it just absolutely storms. Brilliant. Hi, Stuart. Have you considered tutorials? I'm currently working on 5-ball cascade. There's something really therapeutic. I totally agree about the process. Stuart, I really agree. I'm loving juggling at the moment, and the thought processes that go into juggling are transferring to my practice of magic as well, the slowing down, all that stuff. I think it's a really useful thing when you're doing 5-ball. To learn how slow that can be, I think, is a useful thing. But just how you break it down and look at the minutiae of what your hand's doing, I think is really transferable to magic. I'd love to. At the moment, it's just time. I'm trying to find someone to edit and all this, so I'm struggling to keep up with reviews. But yeah, I will. I mean, I'm trying to expand a lot of things with this. Yes, from David Regal. Yeah, I think it's a great. It's from the. That's well, it's just like something my son would say. The red one. It's from Approaching Magic, isn't it? Yes, I think. And it's. I remember reading that. Brilliant. I think. I mean, the thing is with any. Don't need to buy anything if you already got the book, do you? But they're both great. It's one half dozen the other, I think. Thanks, Toby. Hope you're doing well too. So, oh yeah. That's what I had a few comments from Jason Ladanye. I love talking about Jason Ladanye because I like it. I like his stuff. Okay, This is a good comment. There's some very kind words, which thank you very much. But okay, get ready. Opinion incoming. Good from Xanta. I like a good opinion. I like a strong opinion. Okay, get ready. Opinion coming. 30 odd years in magic. So I've got very odd. I've got something to say. Absolutely. I know that Jason's arrogance in them is part of the character, but honestly, it's not appealing. It reinforces that look how clever I am stereotype of magician, the very stereotype that creates a subtle air of conflict. Jason's skill is undeniable and his routine is so on point, but I have actually played his stuff for lay people and the reactions were mostly, oh how clever, he's sharp, etc. What I didn't witness so much was laughter, wonder or hearty surprise. Though his skill is undeniable, the intense level of control and super tight routining means there really is little room for him to relax or go off script, as you put it. A lot of magicians make the mistake of focusing on the trick rather than the wonder. For me, Jason focuses too much on the skill and demonstrating his ability. I hope I'm still being respectful, I think you absolutely are, of a truly accomplished magician because of his ability. He's much more skillful than I am, but it's just a matter of emphasis. I'm more impressed by the legendary David Williamson approach, where the skill is hidden behind a tremendous level of entertainment and wonder. It's a really, really lovely comment, that, and it is respectful. I think it's totally respectful. And you know, the thing you've done, you've got an opinion that's backed up with what you think, which is what we all do. And you're not judging him, you're kind of saying it's not for you. And I totally go with that. For me, I'd love to see the show for lay people, because I think a lot more of that charm would come out, because I can see it there. And you've got to remember, when you're watching a lecture, it's very different to anything. You know, I don't think most people that lecture, the odd person, but most people that lecture will be way better in front of that's the performers they are, because it's a really odd thing. You know that the sleights that you're doing, you're kind of demonstrating them rather than, you know, if you're doing top changes, it's kind of going to be seen a lot of the time. The misdirection is different because the magicians are watching you. You know, you've got all this stuff in your head, and he's very good at doing that. Don't get me wrong, he lectures brilliantly, but I can see that charm there where you can't. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I can really, really see it, and it's I enjoy that. I enjoy that challenge, actually, and I enjoy I suppose it's from being a street performer that I used to get people on stage and never humiliated them. I was very respectful, but if they were up for it, we'd kind of play. And I think I can see that in him. But I think it's a valid point, and it's brilliant. And thank you for sharing that. And I'd like to hear other people's comments on it. But I remember before, when I was a kid, being a magician, being fascinated with the gambling stuff, and actually I wanted to see the cleverness, and I suppose that's what drew me to juggling. So you've got to remember, I think that some people kind of enjoy that, sitting with someone who is skilled and just showing them skill. Now, and he's got gags and that to back it up, so it isn't just look how clever. But I think, again, for the right audience, it's right. For the wrong audience, it's not, and you're not in that audience, which is totally cool. Phil Taylor, Ben Earl is one of the best magicians in the world. Boom, there it is. Magic would be a better place if we learned from his style. Stuart is right. Yes, I mean, he's a great magician, and he can. That's the thing, right? It's hard to teach, and he can teach it. And I think you're right. I think that we need people to come in from all different angles to make magic interesting. I really struggle with learning some magic in certain styles. It's not because I don't. It's not for me, like we were just talking about there. And I think that, you know, some people have come out of lectures going, that was amazing, and I've just kind of gone, have we watched the same lecture? Because I couldn't even stay awake in that, you know. And it's not because they're wrong. That's what makes it interesting. It's like movies. I love it when I see a movie that everybody loves, and I'm fascinated with why that is. Well, it's like we've experienced. It's taste, isn't it? It's like you eat some food, and to you it's amazing. And it's kind of what makes this world so appealing to me. Magic Corner, hey, nice to see you too. Hope you're well. So, was I going to talk about anything else? I don't think so. So if you've got any questions, let me know. If you haven't, that's right as well, isn't it? I'm a bit tired today. What I will share with you is that I asked what you've been doing magically. I did a gig on when was it? Oh God, Tuesday night. It's Thursday now. And I was really nervous because it was with a client I did close-up magic with for years. And then last time they said, you know, it's our anniversary day. I was like, yeah, I've talked about this. And they said, all right, do it. And I was really nervous before because it's like, you know, when you've done close up for the same client, they've never seen your stage show, you kind of want to prove that you can do that as well. And they'd never seen any of it. And I told this story, I think, on a vlog ages ago, but everything went wrong. I got locked in the dressing room before going on stage. So they called me on stage and I couldn't get out of the dressing room. It was a one closing, the opening door, so you couldn't get out. I had to phone the hotel to get me out. I started the show, cut my hand all on the stage when I sort of went down to do photo gag, and all the staples were sticking up. So I was bleeding all the way through the show. The Venom cube, it all fell apart. Everything went wrong. So I really had to prove myself. And I turned up. And I'd said to them on the phone, is the room big? It's not big, is it? Because it needs to be a certain size because I'm doing the cups and balls and they're not going to be like, they were like, no, fine. I turned up and the room was vast. But importantly, there was no lighting on stage, nothing. And it was really, it was like I was completely in shade to about 180 people in a big, vast room, a marquee. But it's interesting when part of me just gave up and just went, this is just going to be a nightmare. But we got on it, and it's interesting what you can do if you go, no, this is going to work. And we got onto the hotel and we finally found something. They cobbled together some lighting, and it wasn't perfect. It wasn't ideal. It would have been horrific had I turned up and just seen that and had to go on, because I got my head around doing it. And actually, the audience came up and had nothing but good things to say. So I made a thing out of it, and they knew that it was an issue. But it goes to show that even if things aren't perfect, if things aren't great, you know, if you just go into it with an attitude of, well, what we got. And this is what I talked about last week a lot on the Card Magic course live session. It's just that thing of looking at what we've got already and working with it, and not complaining and going, right, let's do the best we can. Really lovely show, and I enjoyed it so much. And I did a couple of new things. So that's nice, which I will share with you soon. Right, so fortunately that we are. Have a good one. That's everything. Please please check out Card Magic course. Please tell people about these Thursday shows. Nearly every Thursday, 5 o'clock. I'll just be waffling on about comments. So always comment, and your questions will likely be answered, and we'll get some more reviews out to you soon. Thank you again to the 1914 for sending me. Do check them out on the site. The link will be below. Take care. Bye.